Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, Raptors. My name is Paul Mills from Raptorium Core, and here we have Mancini, who is now working with Raptorium. He's running the Osmium chain, and he's also working with me on the Talon wallet. It's an absolute pleasure to be here, and we've got a few updates to talk about, and yeah, so let's just get started. David's not here, as we mentioned on the last stream. His wife is heavily pregnant. She can't do a lot, so he's handling all the child duties at the moment and doing the things that she would normally be doing, so he can't be on the stream. And Charlie's got basically a football team of children at the moment while his wife's away, so Charlie's not here either. So you're just going to have to deal with me and Mancini, I'm afraid. Not a bad thing, right, Mancini?
Yeah, I think it'll be great. Hey everyone.
Okay, I'm just going to get started with my stuff, and then if you want to start on your stuff, Mancini, that'd be awesome.
Sure.
Do you want to say hello to your community members while you're here?
Well, definitely. Hi everyone. Well, first of all, from Raptorium, of course, but definitely from the Osmium community. If everyone's watching or anyone is watching, hi.
As many of you have seen on social media, we were in Prague last weekend, and I met up with Mancini. Yeah, and I also met up with Richard as well, who's the head of Czech marketing, and we made a bit of a night of it. It's quite interesting. We went to a strange bar that was like kind of underground. That was like it was like a brick wall, wasn't it? And they were wearing masks. And
Yeah, it was wild.
to pick a drink, you had to you had a set of cards with like a design on them, and you just had to pick the design that you liked. But the funny thing was, Mancini had been drinking Old Traditional all night, and out of all the cards, he actually managed to pick the cocktail that he'd already been drinking for most of the evening. So that was kind of lucky. But yeah, that was awesome. We were talking about, RTM things, Talon Wallet, what was going on with that, and where we were going to push forward on it, and also touching on Osmium things as well. Anything you want to add to that, Mancini?
Sure. It was an awesome night, really. It was great to meet and talk about all the stuff that we basically need to talk about all the time. But yeah, that one bar that we went to, that was really insane. I mean, like watching those Rorschach images and just picking your drinks based on that. The bar was actually called the Shrink's Office, so that was like a hidden bar within a bar. So that was crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty
But
awesome.
let's get this thing going, man.
A few people have been saying what's going on with marketing. What I will say about that is we've only just started marketing. We never actually did any paid marketing before. We started lightly marketing 3 weeks ago, just before assets release, and we've got a lot more to do, and we're trying to space it out. You've probably seen the numbers on the social media channels rising recently through various promos and things that we got running, and we're also pushing a lot on PR and other areas like that. And it's a process that can change depending on how much money you've got, and the marketing that we've got right now is something that I'm actually just paying for from my own pocket. It's not coming out the project or anything like that. Obviously we have a marketing team that do translations and things like that, but the actual paid stuff is through myself. We are working on more channels for funding on marketing. Right now, we've got various calls all over the place, especially the week coming as well. We've got so many calls and things going on to push on this sort of thing and many other things as well. So Have a bit of patience. Um, we are pushing on things like that. So yeah, so marketing's only just really getting started. It's never happened before as such. Another thing I would like to touch on as well is, as you've probably seen, there was a guy that took out one sats on Trade Ogre. I think he took like 40k or something like that. I just want to reiterate that we continue to build. It doesn't matter what any of you do, whether you buy, whether you sell. It doesn't matter to us. We've got goals that we are really focused on, and we are going to meet those goals no matter what happens out there in the overall markets or space. We know what we're here for. We know what we want in terms of a finished product in a blockchain, and that doesn't hamper anything that we're doing. So, we're just going to continue to build. No stress. We've got a set of features to deliver that's going to bring some huge value, and we believe that really matters. And there's another issue that I've put in just yesterday, which was something that would enhance the asset release that we've just done, and that is an extra description box comparable with some of these token chains out there, such as Solana and Ethereum, BSC, and that. And this box will actually have information about, like, what the token is, what the social media links are for the project or the person that has created that token on the chain, or information about the NFTs, and also like anything else that the creator feels is useful for the success of that token. I believe that this will, it brings people closer together. And also, if you didn't know the information about the project of the token that you were buying, especially in a UTXO DeFi environment, then that would bring you closer to the project without actually having to go find it. So I believe it's an important thing. I spoke to Tree yesterday about implementing this sort of structure into the assets deployment page, and it was all for it. So that's why there's an issue up now, and hopefully we're going to see this pretty soon on the next update. So yeah, that's pretty cool stuff. I've also been working with H&S on more newsworthy items. There's a lot of things going on in the world right now that really solidify our direction as a project, and it's things that we should be discussing and things that we should be talking about and highlighting to the world about the direction of our development, because it solidifies the work of the team, and it also it brings confidence to people that are looking at our project, thinking they need a solution to some of the issues out there. So I am working actively with H&S nearly every day now on directions forward in that regard, and I do mention H&S a lot, but I'll reiterate to you guys, he's an awesome guy, works super hard for the project, and I don't know what I would do without the guy. So yeah, thank you very much, H&S, if you are watching. I do appreciate all the work that you do. We actually had a Raptor chain reaction video that was a little bit late because H&S had some building work or something going on outside his office window, but that was to do with why you should secure your master assets now, and also what the qualities are of the assets and in terms of security and things like that. So go and check that out. It's on this channel. If you click the videos tab, you'll be able to find it on there. We are in talks with new exchanges, including possible vote listing coming fairly soon. Yeah, we've talked a lot about how we've been saving up for various exchanges and things like that, and that is actively, progressing. We've got quite a chunk of funds right now that the team has saved up between us all. So you know, it's just a matter of time, guys, and we are exploring new ways of getting Raptorium, the coin, listed, and also the tokens as well. So a big thing about having a token ecosystem is having those tokens able to be listed on exchanges, and those exchanges need to be compatible with the tokens in order for people to request a listing. So that was some of the work that we were doing in Singapore, and also some of the work that we've also been doing following the event with extra contacts that we've been speaking with, that we probably didn't have time to speak with at the event because it was such a busy place to be. We are also in talks with another project about calibration on Spark integration. Spark integration, it's Apache Spark, and that is to do with our contracting. This would mean 2 concurrent teams of development followed by an integration period instead of the long, linear process that we're currently used to with some of our development angles. So hopefully that speeds that sector of the project up considerably, assuming that that comes to fruition, which it seems to be. Looking pretty cool at the moment. Last week I've been doing some more work on the new doc site that Charlie created. So there was lots of broken links and things like that, and it just simply wasn't good enough. So it needed a bit of an overhaul and fixing on a few things. So I've done that. We will switch out the actual the old doc site for the new doc site when we are completed with it. There's a few things to add, images, and also some of the instructions need to be added to that as well. It's a lot of work, but we're getting there. There is some new videos as well that I've been working on this channel, and that is literally asset creation. And I thought it was important to complement the guides that Charlie's created at our new doc site. And so now if you go on there, go on here on this channel, check out our master assets creation video. The first one that I made was a master asset NFT, and I also explained some of the use cases about master assets and sub assets, and what cool things you can do with them. So please go and check that out if you are interested in creating assets on the Raptorium blockchain. Hopefully it will help you out. I've tried to explain it as clear as I can. And yesterday, actually very, very early this morning, I made a sub asset creation video, which was obviously separate to master assets, but I made a sub asset non-updatable, so basically an NFT version of a sub asset, and that's underneath the master asset I made on the video before. So possible use cases for that, things like if you had an NFT which was basically I don't know, like a naked Pepe, you could have sub assets underneath that, like a pair of shoes, a pair of sneakers, trousers, t-shirt, and things like that. And the sub assets could actually dress the master asset when picked up by an application or website when reading your wallet or your master asset structure. So this is a cool use case to explore. I will be making more videos about updatable master assets and updatable sub assets, and then I will also make an additional video on how to update those assets once you've created them. So then that should complete the full instructions on everything you need to know about creating these assets. Obviously, when the new field is devved out by Tree and the guys in regards to description, I will redo all those videos because that'll be a new thing to talk about. So yes. What else have I got to talk about? I think that's about it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pass the stream over to my friend Mancini, and it's an absolute pleasure to have Mancini here. Take it away, Mancini.
Thanks, Byron. So, well, first of all, I'm thrilled to be on the stream with you guys. It's an absolute blast to be here. Um, Before I start talking about what I mainly want to talk about, I have to say that I'm extremely happy with the fact that Raptorium has managed to push out assets. I think it's a massive step in the overall journey that we've embarked on, and that we're slowly getting towards um, the finishing line. It's gonna take a while or some time. I'm not saying how long, but it's a massive step for Raptorium, and let's talk about why or how Talon fits into the big picture, maybe for a bit. So, Talon Wallet, yeah. Why are we working on Talon Wallet? How Talon Wallet came to be? We basically started having discussions about the greater ecosystem around Raptorium with the guys roughly about a year ago, or maybe even
I think it
further.
was a bit
Yeah, I
more.
think
Yeah, it was a bit more.
must have been longer than a year ago. And we came to the conclusion that in order for Raptorium to become mainstream and to have mass adoption once the ecosystem is finished, I mean, once the chain is finished, we need a certain ecosystem of several systems that would be able to authenticate and authorize users, to sign and authorize transactions, to interact with smart contracts, to transfer tokens and assets in a very simple and safe and secure way. And essentially, we knew that we would need something that will be able to do that. That is not the core wallet. Because for mass adoption, you need simplicity. You need people to be able to log in, connect without actually having to sync the entire node, without going through the entire process of downloading the core wallet from GitHub, figuring out what GitHub is, like digging through all the releases, figuring out which version you want. You know what I'm talking about. You need simplicity. You need one click, have it installed, have it set up, and you're up and running. No hassle, total user friendliness. Yeah. So we knew from the start that we're going to need a lot more software around the blockchain once everything is said and done and finished. And we basically started thinking about all these systems that need to be built. And then the first thing that came to mind was, well, we're going to need a wallet. Yeah, and it's going to have to be something that's simple, very easy to use, multi-platform, self-custodial, and we started fleshing out details of what basically has become Talon Wallet. And I started working on Talon Wallet with Paul and a few more people. I think it roughly a year ago. I starting putting together the basis of the code base. Um, Zlata has done some awesome design for the wallet, so thanks for that. And I put together an alpha version of the wallet roughly in January this year. So we had something that was functional, that was able to send transactions and do the basic stuff you would expect of a wallet. And we immediately kind of figured out several things. Yeah. One, this is the right direction. Yeah, we definitely need to go this way. And two, this project is so much bigger than what I was able to give the project with the limited time that I have and with the programming abilities that I have. We started thinking what to do, and I thought about it more and more because obviously I've invested a lot of my time into Talon Wallet. I fell in love with the project, and I wanted to see it become a reality, become a fully functional product. So I invented Osmium. And for those of you that don't know Osmium, it is a new blockchain that I have created. And the purpose of the blockchain is basically to create an ecosystem for the development of various pieces of software that would empower other blockchains. And the first product that we are creating under the Osmium brand is Talon Wallet. And obviously, Raptorium is going to be one of the first cryptocurrencies that are going to be enabled in Talon Wallet, obviously. So this is something that we're looking forward to. And the way Osmium is set up is we plan to build more than just Talon Wallet. Yeah, there's lots of stuff that's coming up that we haven't presented yet, that we haven't discussed, but I've got a bunch of ideas of where we could head from here. And the whole idea is that, of course, there's going to be revenue coming from the software because that's how software works. And we plan to make people that own Osmi benefit from the success of the software that we create. So it'll be an ecosystem that basically rewards people that support the software development, and the software development is funded by the blockchain. So it's a fairly neat idea. We're using Dash decentralized governance for that, and Dash masternodes. So Osmium is a Dash fork. But let's go back to Talon Wallet because that's what you want to hear about, right? I've already mentioned that we had the first alpha version early this year. And once Osmium kicked into full gear, we basically launched two developer teams, one for the Talon wallet itself, for the browser extension, and one for the Talon backend. So we've got two dedicated developer teams. I think that we currently have 5 developers working on Talon Wallet. And we plan to do a first showcase of where we are with the development later this month. So hopefully we meet that milestone and we'll be able to show you guys where we are with Talon Wallet currently. And if the stars align, we plan to have the first private beta in January, where we plan to take a number of people from our community and obviously from the Raptorium community and give you the current state of Talon Wallet and get some feedback fairly early on. And we'll see where we are, and basically based upon that feedback we'll be able to know how much work we still need to do before the first production version. We've got a bunch of plans for Talon Wallet. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure that most of you use other browser wallets like MetaMask or potentially, I don't know, Exodus or the Binance wallet or Crypto.com. And like most of these wallets have one thing in common. They are very, very simple, very basic. And what we set out to do was basically to fill in a gap between the complexity of the core wallet and the simplistic approach of the other browser wallets out there. So what you can expect from Talon Wallet is, if you want to, you can dig a little deeper and get more control over your coins, over your addresses and your wallet. If you don't, you can just stick to the very basic approach where you just have coins and you just send them places and be happy with that. But if you want, you can have a bigger level of control than the other wallets allow. So we think that we've managed to hit a very interesting niche with Talon, and if successful, I think that we will be able to create a new standard in crypto wallets out there. So we'll see how we fare. So ultimately, we would love to have the wallet as a multi-platform system. So besides the regular browser extension that we're currently developing, we want to have a mobile version for iOS and Android, obviously. We are thinking about a desktop version, but that would probably come later. Um, we want to support dozens of chains and even more coins and tokens. So it has the ambition to be the one wallet that you need for all your crypto needs. We definitely want to do swaps. We are already talking to swap providers that we could potentially integrate into Talon. We definitely want to integrate NFTs. So we want you to be able to transfer and store tokens, NFTs in your wallet. Going forward, we want to support staking, uh, basically the same functionality that you have in most wallets, but we're also thinking about integrating masternodes or masternode rewards into the wallet in a very interesting way. So we're probably going to speak more about that when we understand where we want to go with this. But I think it'll be really exciting. Obviously, we need to integrate with cold wallets because that's the market standard. And I think I haven't mentioned a very important thing. We want Talon wallets to be open source. We think that security and like being able to trust the software that you're using, that nobody is going to be able to steal your private keys, is an extremely important factor in blockchain. So I know that some wallets have taken this path. Some have decided to remain closed source. I think that open source is really important in crypto. So this is currently the direction that we want to take. And going forward, I'd love for Talon Wallet to be able to integrate with other parts of the Raptorium and Osmium ecosystem. So that'll be a fun thing to do going forward. And let's see where this leads us. So the thing that I'm looking forward to the most right now is having the application in a state where we can do a live demo of Talon Wallet in a few weeks. And I'm really looking forward to getting the first feedback from users in late January or February, because that's going to be probably the first test that we will take with Talon, because right now it was just us looking at it and being in love with how awesome it is, but it's always up to the users to say, well, this awesome thing that you think is really awesome is not as awesome as you thought, so you need to change that, guys. So I'm pretty sure that we're going to get a lot of that from you, and we're going to listen to what you tell us, because we want to make this as awesome as possible. So right now we haven't shown much. I know that there have been sneak peeks here and there, but this is the overall design. This is the look of Talon Wallet. So at least you can see the logo, the color scheme, and how we're going to make it look. But let's leave more details to the video, and let's maybe take some questions. Or Paul, do you want to say something?
No, I'm super excited for Talon. It's just something that I was really niggling to get started a long time ago, and when Mancini said he would work with me on it. I was just so excited because I just know it's something that has been missing in the UTXO space. Since the start, we've got all these different wallets for EVM all around the world, and there's many ecosystems built around them, but there's just simply nothing in comparison out there for UTXO, and especially the DeFi direction that Raptorium and other UTXO chains are going with the token layers. So this will really help generate a much more complex ecosystem and a much more easier to use ecosystem for the UTXO DeFi space, which is really, really important to me for many reasons, including security and other, just so many things that we've mentioned before at Raptorium as to why we are building the project, and important to the Osmium community as well in how Osmium is deployed. So it's not just a wallet for Raptorium, as Mancini has mentioned. We do plan to support many coins, and literally it will be the only wallet that you will ever need to transact most of your crypto with. So we're really excited for it, and if you have got any questions for us, please send them to the chat, because it's not very often we get Mancini right here on the Raptorium live stream talking to you all. So give us some questions. Is there something you would like to know about Talon Wallet? Fire them into the YouTube channel, fire them into the Stream Party chat. We've got a few more minutes to chill if you want to ask us anything. So go ahead. We are here. Oh, I've just got a DM from Jay. Jay's asking, what skills do the developers... Oh, no. What skills have the developers shown previously to be able to work on the Talon wallet?
Well, they have coded stuff.
They've coded cool stuff.
Well, I've picked a really talented group of programmers. Yeah, to be completely honest, I mean the people that are working on Talon Wallet, most of them I've known for years. They're people that I trust and I've known personally. I know them in real life. I know their names. I've seen their faces. So I did not like get some random people that bother you on the internet all the time, bragging about having 20 years of experience and being full stack blockchain developers. So you get those all the time, but I did not want to risk Talon Wallet with that sort of people. So I've picked people that have been in blockchain before. I've picked people that have worked not only in blockchain, but they've worked in finance, they've worked for banks, they've worked for insurance companies, so they understand security, they understand how transactions should be handled, they understand how to write secure and efficient systems. So I think that Talon Wallet is in really good hands right now.
Okay, he's just sent me another DM. How do you plan on getting on the iOS store? Should you not put your plan in place with their development page in order to get it on the iOS store in the future? I think that is quite a good question, actually, because Apple are quite iffy about having it doesn't matter what your app is, really. It's not the easiest to get on to the App Store, and I know that I've worked with projects before where they've tried to do that, and I think Jay is right by saying that, because having a developer account and getting the early things sketched out on that platform is probably the way forward.
Well, this is an excellent and a really valid question, and this actually has been one of the questions that we've had with the team very early on, and I'm really glad that the people that I'm currently working with have already managed to push out a few apps on the App Store for their clients, so they know the drill. And yes, it's a pain to get on the App Store. Um, it's it's easier to get on on Android, but it's getting more complicated every day actually. So it's not going to be as simple as that. But fortunately for us, we're currently working with a pretty neat framework that will probably allow us to have the um, the browser extension, iOS application, and Android application based on the same code base. So once we get the extension out the door, it would definitely need a lot of work, but we will not have to write the whole app from scratch. So we'll be able to reuse most of the work that we have done. So I hope that once we have the browser extension out, we will be able to push out the mobile versions fairly soon. And as I've said, if we ever do the desktop application, that will come a little later or much later, depending on the priorities, of course.
Awesome. Zed's just sent a message. Where do I get more info? Google told me osmium, metallic chemical element, chemical symbol OS, atomic number 76, discovered in 1804. Yeah, so
That is correct. Actually, that is osmium is a precious metal. So Google didn't lie. If you want to find out more information about osmium, you can check out osmium.space, which is our website. And from there, you can most definitely get on our Discord, which is probably the best place to meet people and get more information about the project. But I think that the website would be probably the best place to start.
okay. Do you have any more questions for us while we are here? You can fire them over on the YouTube channel or the stream party chat in the Discord.
Yeah, we shouldn't have talked for so long. We should have just said, "I'm working on a wallet." Yeah, it's like
yeah. Just left it at that. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Okay, guys, it has been awesome to do this stream for you, and great to have Mancini here. You're going to be here. Are you going to be here next week as well, Mancini, or what?
Well, I definitely plan to come more often if you'll have me. That is.
I'll definitely have you. Balcony's typing. Is this a question? Oh no, he stopped typing now.
No, he's typing again.
Oh no, it's not. It's not a question. It's a bit of rain. Yes, guys, we will do some rain into the chat after the stream has ended. For those that are in the stream party chat. Okay, yeah. So thanks for tuning in, guys. It's been awesome. You know, as you can see, we are really building some meaningful things for UTXO DeFi. It's really important to us, and we believe really important to the overall blockchain space. Take some of that wind out of EVM bullshit with their risky smart contracts and things like that. So that's what excites us. Yeah, so you can look forward to Talon Wallet. You can look forward to what we are deploying on the Raptorium network, and look forward to more projects from the Osmium ecosystem as well. And any final words, Mancini, while you're here?
Well, this has been my first AMA. I hope I didn't fuck up.
No, you didn't. And you are allowed to swear on this stream as well. It's not for children.
Yeah, too late. Yeah, Osmium is mineable. It's X11, so dash A6 basically. And it's also merge mineable. So if you're mining Dash, you can merge mine Osmium, and you get two for the price of one, actually. Yeah, Todd, you made it just in time for the party to end.
It's just in time for the rain. That's all Todd cares about. Jesse's in the chat. How you doing, Jesse? Oh, that's a good point to make. We won't be having a CryptoSmith stream after this. We are going to be starting back with the Jesse Lambert at BitKnives from next week. So yes, we've got that to look forward to. Okay, guys, we will see you next Sunday at the same time, at the same place, hopefully with Mancini here, maybe some other team members as well, for more weekly updates and a CryptoSmith stream as well. Make sure you're following us at Raptorium, at X, at Instagram, at Threads, and also at Official Raptorium at TikTok. Please, please, please give this stream a nice little like below. And subscribe to the channel as well. It really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. And if you would like to become an honored member of our channel, it would really help us out with the project, with marketing, and our outreach as well. So please, if you want to give us a bit more support, do that. It would be appreciated. You want to give your links as well for Osmium while you're here?
Definitely. I mean, like follow the Osmium chain on Twitter, or you can also follow Talon Wallet on Twitter. Both of these addresses are going to be tweeting more as we approach the beta, and I'll probably. I don't have the links here. I think the best thing to do, actually, I'm going to give you our link tree in just a second, and you can have you'll find all the links there.
Awesome. One thing to mention before we go as well is the domain name for the Talon wallet is talon.is. We decided to make that name because we could put a word at the end of it, so we could have the domain name with like Talon is easy, Talon is awesome. We thought that was good for marketing. So yeah, the domain is talon.is. If you do go to that domain, you will see the talons are being sharpened.
And also, Talon is bloody awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Cheers, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.